Derek, and this is Allison, and we're both part of the Seton Hall MSAT program. Today we're going to be working on Allison's rotator cuff, specifically her infraspinatus and her teres minor, which is responsible for external rotation. This is going to be an open kinetic chain exercise, a sideline dumbbell external rotation. So for patient position, I'm going to want her to lie on her right side, so she can work on her left rotator cuff. So from here, she's going to grab the dumbbell. She's going to hold it against her side, and she's going to lift the dumbbell up towards the ceiling and then down towards her belly button. She's going to lift it up towards the ceiling, and this is the concentric portion of the exercise, and when she brings it down nice and controlled is the eccentric part of the exercise. Something that we like to cue our patients is to make sure they're keeping their elbow tucked. For that, you can use a rolled up towel, or we have a flex bar that I'm going to place under Allison's arm. And she's going to tuck her arm against her body, making sure that that flex bar doesn't fall off. And then she's going to perform the exercise. She's going to do this for 3 sets and 10 to 12 reps. So for our next exercise, we're going to be doing a closed kinetic chain exercise focusing on internal rotation. This exercise targets the subscapularis, latissimus dorsi, and teres major. So for this exercise, the patient is going to be standing up nice and tall. She's going to make sure she's keeping her core contracted and her hips squeezed into neutral position. She's going to take the band. She's going to wrap it around her hand a couple of times. Meanwhile, I'm going to hold it out to the side here. You could also do this exercise with this band anchored against a stable surface. Okay, for this exercise, she's going to keep her elbow tucked and her arm bent to 90 degrees, and she's going to pull the band across her body and then back. Another common cue we like to use with this exercise is to keep your elbow tucked. Again, we can use a towel or a flex bar, and I'm going to put this right into her space here between her arm and her body, and she's going to keep her elbow tucked to make sure that it doesn't fall out. I'm going to be applying a little resistance with the band, and she's going to pull it across her body. Here she's working in the transverse plane, and she's going to do this exercise for 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps. For the next exercise, we're doing banded straight arm lat pull downs. This is an open kinetic chain exercise for shoulder extension, specifically targeting the latissimus dorsi, teres major, and posterior deltoid. So for patient position, Allison is going to grab the band, keeping her arm straight, making sure there's sufficient tension in the band. She's going to keep her core contracted and her hips forward in neutral position. From here, she's going to be keeping her arm straight, pull the band towards her body. This is the concentric portion of the exercise, and when she brings her arms back up in front of her is the eccentric portion of the exercise. She's working in the sagittal plane, and she's going to perform this exercise for 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps. So for the next exercise, we're going to be doing TRXWs. This is a closed kinetic chain exercise for shoulder external rotation, targeting specifically the infraspinatus and the teres minor. So for this exercise, Allison is going to set up by grabbing the TRX handles with both hands, making sure her arms are extended. She's going to take a couple of steps forward so that her body is at about a 45-degree incline. She's going to make sure her chest is up, her core is tight, and her body is in line from head to toes. From here, she's going to pull herself up towards her face and simultaneously rotate her arms so that her hands finish next to her ears. This is the concentric portion of the exercise, and this is the eccentric portion of the exercise. She's working in the sagittal plane, and she's going to do this exercise for 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps. So for the next exercise, we're going to be doing towel internal rotation slides. This is a closed kinetic chain exercise that is targeting shoulder internal rotation, targeting specifically the subscapularis, latissimus dorsi, and teres major. So for this exercise, Allison is going to position herself parallel to the wall with her hand on the wall using the towel. She's going to make sure that her forearm and her elbow stay connected to the wall. And then she's going to take her arm and she's going to rotate her arm inward in front of her body and then rotate back up. She's working in the sagittal plane. This is the concentric portion of the exercise, and this is the eccentric portion of the exercise. And she's going to do this exercise for 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps. For the next exercise, we're going to be doing TRX rows. This is a closed kinetic chain exercise for shoulder extension, targeting specifically the latissimus dorsi, rhomboids major and minor, as well as the middle trap. So for this exercise, Allison is going to set up with her arms extended in front of her, and she's going to take a couple steps forward so that she has about a 45-degree angle. She's keeping her chest up and her core nice and tight, as well as her hips squeezed forward. She wants to have a nice line between her head and the heel of her foot. And from here, she's going to pull her arms down towards her ribs, or she's going to pull herself up with her hands towards her ribs. She's working in the sagittal plane, and she's going to do this exercise for 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps.